everyone, it's Val, and welcome back to the end of the day tour for Tolkiencraft II, The Labors of Valentine. Well, I have been so busy today, you wouldn't believe it. Well, maybe you would. You might notice some changes in my accoutrements. We have draconic items, draconic pickaxe, sword, the helm, and a few other items. Just have a snack here. Delicious. We've also made the shovel, the axe, and if I can get out my things, I've got stuff everywhere right now because I had to clear my pockets. So today, basically, we did the Heart of a Dragon, so we summoned and killed Glydia. We did this quest, which, well, no, actually that one we did before. Heart of a Dragon. Oh, that's right. I had already done that, and that one was automatically completed. So we did the Dragon Heart. We turned that one in because I'd already made those a while back. And then we went ahead and we'd already made the Wyvern stuff, so we turned that in as well. Am I getting confused? Yes, I am. I'm going backwards. That's why I'm confused. Something was completed. It was that one that was auto-completed. Okay, I did start here. I do know this. I started at the Heart of a Dragon. We did that. Then I did this one. These were already done because we had to do it to get the dragon. That's what the one that was auto-completed. Sorry, I'm just a little confused. And then I went ahead, as you saw, made all the various draconic tools. And now we are working on the draconic armor. I still need to get enough awakened draconic ingots in order to make the last two pieces. And in fact, what we're waiting on, and I will talk about the other stuff that I did today here, but I want to do this in order or I will, in fact, miss something. We are waiting on the charged draconium blocks. So I set this up to automatically feed them in and pull them out once they're charged so that I didn't have to be here while they were working. And in fact, I have it turned off at this precise instant, and I will explain why in a moment. I'll also explain why I currently have a lava generator, a top tier lava generator hooked up, because we need so much power. It was taking about, with just using the water wheels, it was taking about, I think I guessed about 12 to 15 hours to fill one block, and that was just way too slow. It was going to be forever before I could make everything, and I wanted to do it ASAP. So I went ahead and I set up my furnace generators, and today in the stream I changed this from 4 of the lowest tier lava generators. I made enough to make one top tier lava generator, and that's making it fill it at a reasonable rate. I do plan to retire this. This will go onto my ender quarry, and at some point be able to use the water wheels exclusively, but we'll have to add more, and well, that's a balancing act as to how many of those I'll have to have. I really don't want to be using the lava generator because the idea is once everything is up and running, it's running off the water wheels alone. But that, I may not be able to do that. I may not be able to generate enough power. I just will have to see. Alright, so let's start at the bottom and work my way up, so I can try not to miss anything about what I did off stream and on stream. Alrighty, so first things, well actually this is the second thing since I talked about the Wyvern armor first. From BVB, she saw we were low on wood here, and I was chopping down trees to get more wood, and she very kindly gave me a lot of wood. Over 100,000 logs in a lovely resonant cache, so thank you very much, BVB. I really appreciate that. She has a forestry farm set up, so she is swimming in wood, she tells me. So that sounds very painful. So I'm sure she was happy to get rid of some of the wood. Yes, the other thing was I needed to be able to store a lot more of the experience because I was generating a lot more. And so I made a big tank down here, and I have actually been using it today. And part of what I was using it for, I'll explain in just a moment. Okay, so I have been making use of this Disenchanter, and because of that, I have a lot of, well, lovely enchantments on my equipment now. And the way that I got a lot of the enchantments to start with, the invisible and whatnot, was because, yes, I did it off camera. I set up my factory floor for my brain function, would you please? For my mob spawners. And I did make some changes this time from what I did the first season and the second season. In this season, I didn't have an access hatch in the roof of the area. Instead, I'm planning... Whoops. Oop, go down to 1. Thank you. I'm planning to access it this way, because normally once it's all set up, I don't really need to come in here. It's just when I need to make some changes. So, no access hatch in the roof this time. I have been running this on coal alone because I don't have enough power right now to be doing everything. I think dang it. It ate it. It's down here. Alright, well, I'll talk about it down here. It must be in the chest. Yes, it is. Okay, so let's go back up there. I want to make sure I don't forget anything. Okay, let's put this here. Right. Okay, so the reason that I have this gap here is so that I can actually click on it and see how much coal. It runs for about 40-45 minutes on a stack of coal, but I was checking it every 38 to make sure that I didn't have a situation where I had my wither skeletons spawning and no grinder here to dispose of them. Right. So, down here, in my Season 2, I was making use of the hopper hawks from Botania, as well as the vacuum hopper. The vacuum hopper's primary intention in Season 2 was to collect the experience, and the hopper hawk's primary purpose in Season 2 was to collect the items. And the hopper, of course, collected the items as well, but that was just a byproduct, because its area of effect was slightly smaller than the hopper hawk. So, since I'm not using Botania items this season, I am just using the hopper. And, of course, we're hooking it up to this chest here as a buffer, and it's going directly into my main storage system. I don't have a separate mob storage system this time. It's all going to be in the main storage area. And I'm trashing some of the stuff. Basically, once I have what I figure is enough of whatever, I am starting to throw things away a bit more than I used to. It's tough, but I'm trying. Okay, and actually I shouldn't have closed this up just yet, because I still had something to talk about in here. Did I get... Of course I didn't. Alright. Give me another one. Thank you. So instead of a 9x9 room, which I used in Season 2, this is a 7x7 room centered on the vacuum hopper. And that allows the vacuum hopper to pick up all the items in the room, since a 9x9 room is just slightly too large for the hopper, or for the vacuum hopper to get. And that was the reason that the hopper hawk was the primary means in Season 2. But we don't have that in this season, so the room is smaller, but the walls are solid. So there is a gap here, and then that's the original 9x9 wall back there. Just fill this back in. And of course here, this is just two. If I open this, that's the original 9x9 wall back there. So you can see how I did it. Brought it in 2 in the back and 1 each on the side, and that made it the 7x7. And it's working quite nicely. This particular stabilized spawner. I got it from the clay golem spawner that I picked up from my mining tower on my mining base. You'll remember the clay golem spawner that I got there. And I actually made sure that I got some clay golem souls, so I am going to add a clay golem spawner here once I pick up some more spawners. So we're going to have to go hunting for that at some point, because that was the only one I had available. We need more. And that is also the reason why I have clay being one of the things that is going into the storage system, because I'm going to put the clay golem spawner in with the wither skeleton. Now, the reason that I needed to do the wither skeletons off camera is because I needed 54 nether cubes based on my calculations in order to make all the draconic items that I wanted to do. And it took me about 5 hours total to get all the wither skulls I needed. And I got extra, but that was just a byproduct because I left this system running while I was doing some other stuff. So I figured you guys had seen me process withers enough. You really didn't need to watch 5 hours of me doing that. Alright. And I'm sure I will be setting up other spawners on camera, so it's not like you won't see it again. Because between Season 2 and Season 1, I think you've seen me set up my farms in very similar configurations for probably a good 10 different times. So, it hasn't changed that much. Oh, and yes, I did make, again, a explosion-proof room in order to activate my charged draconic blocks using the dragon heart. And if you're not familiar with that, that is the ritual in here, which you find by looking at the heart. And basically you drop a dragon heart on the ground and activate it with one piece of TNT. Usually I run a line of redstone from it and flick a lever. And then you drop 16 draconic cores on it. And once those get sucked up, you place 4... I do the maximum each time. I put 4 charged draconium blocks down near the target, and they become activated. And that's what we need in order to make our draconic items. Alrighty. And yes, it will explode things, so with the TNT. So even though I hadn't planned to, I ended up making yet another explosion-proof box, even though I should only have to use it one more time. But I think it looks pretty cool. I did a little different this time. I had the dragon last time, but it was outside. This time I actually made, or a snake rather. This time I put the snake inside. Right. So that's that. Whoops. What else did I get up to today? Well, yes, I did in fact do more things today. That is not... I haven't stopped talking. There is still more to show you. Alright. Oh, and now I will talk about the fact that I disenchanted and got a lot of books. And that is how I got the start to add invisible to all my armor, as well as get all the parts for protection and fire protection and magic resistance and resistance, etc., etc. And I did that by disenchanting the armor that I was getting off of some of the special mobs that were spawning. You know, the wither skeletons with glowy particles around them. Those special mobs. So basically, or are they called infernal mobs? They might be infernal mobs. Anyway, point is, they dropped enchanted items, and those I disenchanted and got my various enchanting books. However, I didn't have quite all of them, and I didn't want to run the spawner more just to get more, to roll the dice to see if I could get more of the books that I was looking for. So instead, we went to the Hobbit Nexus, and I figured out how to use the typesetting table and the printing press, and I used that to copy the books. And unfortunately, I do not have any books ready at hand to show you the process, which I really should do, so I will try to remember to go through the making of copying an enchanted book in a future end of the day tour. I will try to remember. I can't promise, but I will try, because if I'd been thinking, I would have made sure I had some books left to show you that. But that is how I got the remainder of the books that I needed. And one of those things was, where did I put it? I think I put it over here. I have a Power 5 book. Open that, please. Thank you. I have a Power 5 book ready for my bow, using that process. Okay, so what else have I been doing? Well, finally got started on the AE system, and the first thing to do is to get the crystal growth accelerator working, and it looks like it's finished. That is fabulous. Let me just get these put up. Let's put them in there. And I'm actually going to... Another quartz dust, please. Thank you. Let's combine these. And we will drop them over here. And then I'll talk about the crystal growth accelerator, how I've got it set up here. Hopefully these go in. Yes, they did. Perfect. Alright. So I wasn't sure if this would work, and it does, thankfully. Where is my... There it is. Alright. So I actually have, from here, I have a wireless connection to the energy acceptor here. And I originally tried connecting it directly to the crystal growth accelerator, but that didn't work. But you can connect it to the energy acceptor, and it is working beautifully. And I was so happy that it works, because I don't have to run so many wires. Alright, and here I have added a toggle bus, and that will let me turn the crystal growth accelerator off when it's not in use, and that's really what you want to do, because otherwise it constantly drains power. And well, unless you're actually growing crystals, that is a terrible waste of power. Alright, I think I have everything. No, I'm wrong. There is one more thing to show you. I can't believe how many little things I got done today. And some of them aren't quite so little. And hello, CJ Newt on Beam. Thank you very much for following me. I appreciate that. And I am currently doing my end of the day tour, and that's why I wasn't responding to you immediately. Alright, so what's going on here? I have set up an animal farm from Ancient Warfare. And I think there's a bug right now, because you can put in 2 pieces of wheat, a pair of shears, and just leave it. And it's growing, it's breeding the cows, it's shearing the sheep, and doing that all with just 2 pieces of wheat and shears that are not taking any damage. So that seems like that is not intended to me. I could be wrong, but it seems a little cheap, to say the least. So in order to get this to work, we had to use a transfer node. I tried putting this directly on here, and I also tried using item ducts, and it just wouldn't work. But the transfer node is working beautifully. And actually these can be set to none. I was playing around trying to figure out how to get this to work, and I finally got the top and up working. Let's see. If you don't have something pulling the things out, as you can see, they went out there. It fills this inventory, and then I imagine it would stop. At least I would hope it would. I have it running off of a hardened energy cell at this point, but I am going to see if I can connect it up wirelessly as well. I just haven't done that yet. I just wanted to get it going, because we're going to need a lot of wool for the AE system, and that was the primary thing I was after here. And because it seems that the Animal Farm does not know to collect mutton. I had to set up a vacuum hopper to at least collect some of the mutton. As you can see, there is still mutton over here that's not out of reach of the vacuum hopper. But there's not much I can do about that unless I want to add a bunch of vacuum hoppers along here. Once I get enough leather and wool, I will be turning this off, because at some point I'll set up a spider farm in the mob farm area, and we will get all the wool we need by combining string. But for now, we will leave this running, and it's working pretty well, aside from the bug about basically being able to breed and shear for free. Alright. I think, yes, I have reached the end of the things that I did today. I don't believe it. I'm sure there must be something I've forgotten, because there were so many things I did. I can't believe I haven't missed something. But I think yes, I've done it. I've covered it all. Woo! Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed today's lengthy, extremely talkative, well, they're all talkative. This one I've been talking somewhat fast because I knew I had a lot to cover. I hope you enjoyed this end of the day tour, and I hope to see you in the stream sometime. Y'all take care now. Bye.